Well, welcome back, everyone, for another edition of the South Bay Grading Book Club. I am your host, Aaron Hosmer. Today, we'll be getting into Chapter 13 of Atomic Habits by James Clear. So, my biggest takeaway, I will start. He talks about, I don't know the terminology he uses, but he talks about starting with one or starting small, something manageable, and building a habit. He goes into examples of putting your running shoes on, doing one push-up, reading one page. So, he mentions the phrase gateway habits in the book, and I think that's super important. You can build a gateway habit, just like they talk about marijuana being a gateway drug into other stuff, however you want to feel about that. But I think gateway habits is a really powerful concept, and this like attrition based buildup to getting to where you want to go, folding one pair of socks, all that stuff is super important. And I think he's onto something there. I've implemented it myself. I didn't even know I was doing it until we started reading this book. Actually, I read this book before we did the book, so this is my second time through, and it's pretty interesting to go back through and hear the things that he's talking about, and then look back at my progress through my little journey on certain things. You can, it's almost like knocking at the door to a complete life change when you do that one page, that one push-up. You don't know what's going to happen when you crack through that threshold and the floodgates are essentially opened. You'll surprise yourself, and it's hard to see through the door until you start knocking on it. So that was my takeaway from Z chapter. Z. All right, so I'm going to start calling on people. No, I'm just kidding. Anyone else have anything?
I didn't get to read it, so I'm going to listen to other people.
Fair enough.
What I found, go ahead.
Just kidding.
What I found stuck out to me is he said motion versus action. And that you can be thinking about something, and that they say that's like motion, I guess. If I remember the word correctly, I was just looking it up. I don't know, but motion versus action, and you don't start building that habit until you actually take action, until you start moving forward and beginning to do something. And that action can be, just those 2 minutes to start it out. And like you're saying, that gateway to getting deeper into that habit, but you have to start. You have to take that action, and that was like the main thing I pulled from it.
Yep, exactly.
Oh yeah. Like the ballerina, her whole thing with that 2-hour workout was just simply getting down onto the street and getting in the taxi cab. When she was in the taxi cab, that was her habit, and the rest took care of it.
Yep, and when you pair it with something else enjoyable, if you're just putting on your running shoe, for me, I've talked about this before. I know I have like multiple books I'm listening to, and it makes doing certain things. There's a lot of mundane tasks that can be revitalized by listening to anything. Like most of the podcasts I listen to, I don't even watch. It's just audio with AirPods, and I have my phone sitting in my room, and my phone's not even on me, and I can be doing dishes, cleaning, taking out the trash. Whoa. Allison's doing things again. Hold on one second.
How about that?
Why don't you turn that thing off?
Sorry, guys.
She tried.
I tried.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so the gateway habit, and then stack it with something else. That's a really powerful combination. And there's other things besides like podcasts and books. That's just a real world example that works for me. Everyone will find their own thing. Maybe I know my mom likes to knit while she's watching Netflix. So she's always knitting something up there, consuming content.
That's true. Well, I mean, kind of on the topic, when I used to do the gym stuff and run those classes, like my big thing with people is like if it at the very least, if you think you're gonna come and like work out and you're feeling like you're not going to, at the very least, just put your workout outfit on. And then if you sit at home and eat popcorn and watch TV for the next 6 hours with your workout outfit on, then that's you. But 9 times out of 10, you're like, well, I'm already dressed for it. And then get in the car and then just take it one step at a time. So for work stuff, I like to, I tell myself if I get overwhelmed, I'll make a list and then I'll just go through and tackle the list based on each of the projects that I have going on. And hopefully that gets the momentum going, and then it all turns out for the good.
Yep.
For sure.
Word.
Is very effective.
Yeah. I know for me, he's talked about the environment, and being in the right environment is super important as well. So if you've got distractions and you're trying to work from home, remove those distractions. If you're at work and you're experiencing them, try to get those distractions out of your way. Maybe don't answer every phone call, maybe it can probably wait. But I know that we're all prone to procrastination at some point. And if you're doing something you don't want to be doing necessarily, and there's a phone call that is like, oh, I can go do that. I can go tackle this one right now. You just kind of derailed yourself, and you aren't getting done what this thing that you may need to do that you don't really like that has to happen. You're not knocking that out. It's better to tackle what you're doing head on and deal with the other stuff later. Obviously, there's fire drills in construction. There's always stuff going on. So you have to, it's not like a black and white. There's some gradients.
Yeah, and sometimes that extra time does help too, because like if you're looking down at your phone or like, I don't know, it's one of your subs or something, and you're like, oh no, not this guy now, I got to deal with this. But if you wait that half an hour, you might take that call differently too, and it might, instead of you escalating it because you're like, oh, what's this dude want, it might turn out a little bit better and then have a more amicable outcome.
Yeah, I noticed half the time the problem solves itself when I don't answer.
Oh, yeah.
It's like they figure it out. Just
You're
like
welcome.
I find myself kind of sometimes asking these guys, what would you do? What would you do if I wasn't here?
What would
And
Aaron
if
Hosmer
you
do?
didn't, no, well, what would contractor X do if I wasn't here to answer your call? And then listen to them. And it could be a teaching moment where you hear their reasoning, and you can, if they say the right thing, you're like, there you go. Now you're thinking, good job. Do that. You just figured it out. And it kind of empowers them to critically think and feel more confident in their decision-making process.
Hmm.
What do you think, Drew? Oh yeah.
I didn't see.
Yeah, I found it really helpful. Like the gateway habits was for me at home. I like to cook a lot, but for the first 6 months when I moved into this new house, I hated doing the dishes. So I just pile them up. And now it's like I think of it, it's like, hey, the dish is gonna take me less than 2 minutes to clean. Might as well clean it now. And so now I just clean as I go, and it saves me a bunch of time.
Yeah, me too. It's really nice to be eating and all you have to clean afterwards is your plate and the cup,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that goes to exactly like he was talking in the chapter, that guy, after whatever he's done doing, he makes sure, if he's watching TV, he puts the remote all in the same spot. fixes the pillows on the couch,
Mhm.
you know, so that the next time he's ready to go do something, he doesn't have to fix all that stuff or whatever, and then he can just grab the remote and go. You know, it's
Yeah.
putting all the things in the right places and just keeping that habit, because you do those little small things, it's going to save you time in the long run.
It's really nice to come home to a clean house that's ready to be utilized, however, and that I've implemented that in my room where it's all everything goes back in the place that I have like mentally designated it, and
Yeah.
I don't lose stuff. Um I used to lose stuff a lot,
Well,
and I
and
don't do that anymore.
when your living space is organized and clean, it transfers over to your mind. Your mind becomes more organized, and you're able to like just understand like where everything's at, and then it makes it simple so that things in your mind are organized as well. Like I don't know if I'm explaining that right, but
Yeah,
you know, it
yeah.
it transfers over. It 100% does.
There's little things. I think he mentioned it in chapter 12 about I sit down in front of my email on the weekends, my personal email, and I look before I start clicking into them, I go, okay. And I just start unsubscribing because there's all these, you can't really touch a platform these days without putting your email in. So you're getting
Yep.
subscribed to a list no matter what. So I go back in and I unsubscribe. If it was like I have a rental car right now that's an EV, and I had to sign up for this EVCS platform that I will never use. And now I've already got 10 emails in my inbox from them. So I'm like, that's getting unsubscribed from once I send this thing back, but I have to like use their app to charge this thing. So I just little stuff. If you let that stuff linger and you find yourself, have you opened one of these emails? I found myself going, oh yeah, I'm going to look at that. I'll open one of those one day. And then months later, I haven't opened one. And it's like, okay, what is this really doing? This is cluttering your virtual space. And in a way, just looking at it, for me at least, having it not be there, I don't think I'm losing anything. And it was hard to let go of a couple of those because I thought I would open one day, but I never did. And now that they're gone, I don't think about them.
Yeah.
I do the same thing when I get texts and calls. I immediately report junk, block number. I'm constantly blocking. Once I determine that it's some politician or whatever. I mean, who's the worst is, or the best you could say, is Donald Trump's team. Like, man, I went on and I bought something from him and I have been blown up ever since. And it's taken me, I've had to block like 6 different email accounts and 10 different numbers, and they still trickle in, but they're petering off. So it's tough.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I wanted to I wanted to talk about the 2-minute rule, and I liked the reverse psychology of using the 2-minute rule as a maximum. You can only do this for 2 minutes,
Sorry.
right? And how that drives you to be like, well, I'm already doing it. I might as well just keep doing it, right? And I thought that's pretty, for a guy like me, that's kind of genius, because I'll get hung up on something I don't want to do, but if I'm only going to do it for 2 minutes, then I could easily talk myself into it, right?
Yep.
And then it's just, you've started, right? It's kind of like the gateway habit. You've started something. Pretty soon you're just going to be like, I'm already here, I'm just going to keep working until it's done. And the having to stop in 2 minutes becomes problematic, because it's not enough time, right? So I thought that was cool. I like that. I liked that 2-minute rule the best, out of everything in the chapter.
Yeah, because just like you can build negative habits, he talks, I think in the beginning, he talks about the negative habits, how they build over time. That the same thing applies to the positive habits. So you may have started out in high school drinking 2 beers, then it changed to 5, then 6, then a 12-pack by college, then a 12-pack and a half a bottle of whiskey. And that same concept of building up this negative tolerance can be applied to all this positive stuff. We don't really see it that way, or at least I didn't until he pointed that out. It's like, oh, okay. So we can build in the opposite direction.
Yeah. Yeah. Keep habit stacking in a good way.
Yeah. Juan, are you moving again?
Yeah, fucking, I guess used tires are fucking $90 now.
I heard you had to go up on a little bit on the berm up at Los Gatos yesterday. That may have been the reason why you have a flat or something.
I don't know, maybe, but it was
Yeah.
it was a nail though. It was a nail.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then I in order for me to pull over, I had to drive a little bit with it flat, so I had to get a different tire. They couldn't patch it because I kind of rolled on it,
Yeah.
and now the rim's like bent. Dude, it's amazing. It's
I've
a good
been there
day.
before. It sucks.
It's a good day.
What do you think? How does it apply
So
to young Juan and his duties and life?
So for chapter 13, I mean, I'm already on a different book, so I can't really think back that far. But I mean, to stop procrastination, I think that's like my biggest struggle. Like, I'm not a morning person, and like I'm used to waking up every day at like 4:30 to 5, like just because of like what I've been doing for work. So I've kind of gotten used to it. But for procrastination, the best thing I do is just like I just do it. Like the 2-minute rule, I think that's very good. I don't specifically use that rule, but if there's anything I don't want to do, I just focus on it first, and I just push through it and I get it done. And then I just mean just over with, and I don't have to keep doing what I don't want to do.
Yep. Fair enough. I mean, you're here before me every day, so obviously you're doing something right, besides the flat tire, which I get, it happens.
Yeah.
Did we give Jared a chance?
Sorry, I've only been half paying attention to the conversation because I'm trying to get this thing over to Matt. But no, I really liked one of the lines he said in here was master the habit of showing up in regards to making these 2-minute habits. The whole like a gateway habit thing.
Yep.
It's you don't gotta go 100% and achieve your big goal right away. You just gotta make sure that you're showing up and making steps towards becoming great every day, and it will happen.
1%, man. 1% better.
1% every day is 3.6 times better, 360% better by the end of the year, right?
I think that, yeah, if we focused as a society in general on, I mean, with the way the news sells outrage and fear, if we were able to just critically think and say to ourselves, how does this affect me and my family? And then, and it most likely does not. They are selling you something. And if we can all focus on what we can do for our internal family unit, our coworkers, our peers and friends, our community, that is the most important thing that's going to matter if the Russians invade, or whatever bullshit they're trying to say. It's like, let's think about the reality of the situation. So look around you in your neighborhood, in your community, what matters, what affects you, what affects your family relationships, what affects your day-to-day. Those type of things that we can focus on is where we can start making the changes, rather than worry about the temperature of the earth, in 30 years, or the polar ice caps melting, or space aliens. It's like, all right, guys, let's just dial it back and focus in on the reality of our situation, because that's where we'll see the largest impact. In my
Well
opinion.
said. Well said. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
The media's job is to perpetuate fear, because if people are scared, then they can be controlled. So, basically, if you watch the news and they are telling you something should scare you, then it's probably bullshit.
Yep.
It's pretty much the way it is. All right. This guy.
I think
is
Elon
just-
Musk said it best where he said, you know, peace is war. What he had this whole inverse thing that he was talking about when he was doing the Doge thing, like the Department of whatever, it actually means this, you know, like the
Yeah.
Department of Defense used to be the Department of War back in the Abraham Lincoln days, you know, or whenever, I don't know when they changed it, but they have made these things into something else. And they use linguistics to fool us.
Yeah. Just call it something different, right? Call it progressive,
Yeah.
right?
The
Progressive
polar bears.
politics.
And Peter
Yeah.
Thiel said any area of study with science after it isn't actually a science, like political science. Which is funny if you think of them all, they're all kind of like subjective type majors and studies that aren't actually based in science. Science just is chemistry, physics, like that's science. They don't need to say physics science because it's implied in the name.
Right. It already says what it is.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's a good observation. I'd never thought of it that way.
He has a good book called 0 to 1. Peter Thiel is probably what behind most of what's happening in the world. So he's someone to pay attention to. He's got his hands in everything. Yes. There's this law firm that outed him for being gay. So he went and he funded Hulk Hogan's defamation suit and put this law firm, which was involved with the same law firm, and he put that law firm out of business by funding Hulk Hogan's sex video lawsuit, gave him the money to pay the lawyers to battle this case just to take down the guy that outed him. He's pulling strings like this master manipulator. So it's a side
Love it.
off topic, but
Off topic.
yeah.
Right on.
You don't fuck with the PayPal mafia.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to use whatever leverage you got. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
So.
All right. Well, I think that's everyone's got a chance. Oh, Allison.
You guys all.
No. I'm just kidding.
Oh, I know the look he's getting right
I'll
now.
just reiterate kind of what people have said, but you can do anything for 2 minutes. I love that man who lost 100 pounds over 5 years, he
Yeah.
said, if I can get to the gym and just stay there for 2 minutes, that's great. And he did that. And then all of a sudden, you know, he's like, you know what? I'm here for 2 minutes. Let's do 5. And then eventually now he's getting a good workout. He's down 100 pounds and he just did the little 2-minute thing. Habit stacking, right? Baby steps.
Look at how you've stepped up the social media posting. You took that over. I don't know how long ago, but you were manually doing it. You've went through multiple platforms. And I mean, has the process gotten, I feel like you're in a groove and you know what to do. Maybe your biggest hurdle is being hungry for more content from us, right?
Yeah.
It's like, give me more, feed me. I need more info
It
to
was-
post, right?
Well, I was kind of spoiled in the beginning that I had someone else giving me a ton of content.
Yeah,
Like enough for me to schedule out a whole month at a time.
yeah.
So that spoiled me. So yeah, now I'm doing both. So it slowed me down quite a bit, but yeah, I feel like I understand what's happening way more than in the old, like a year ago, I was just posting to post to get stuff out there. I had really no idea what
Yeah.
was going on.
I mean, you asked me the other day, you said, what are these abutments? And I was just like, yep, you got it. It's funny how these things build and you start understanding the more you engage, the less friction there is. And that's the important part. That's what James Clear is trying to say is show up, get in there, start, do something, and it will get easier. And I promise you guys it will. There's your body, your stomach will tell you when you're not doing stuff that you know you should be. You'll feel it. Your body's going to give you a physical sign. So pay attention to that. Read your body signs and then figure out what it means. And that's not always the easiest thing to do, but you will get a little serotonin or endorphin hit when you get done, when you walk out of the dentist with your molar filled. It's a pretty good feeling, right?
Mhm.
But leading up to it, it's not the best feeling. I know I don't ever feel good going into the dentist. I'm just like, oh man, this is gonna suck, you know? But coming out of there, it's like the first day of summer.
Yeah.
I want to go party. I'm like, yeah, let's go, you know?
Go eat some steak.
Yeah, exactly. So
Awesome.
anybody else got anything to throw in?
I have to comment on Drew's beard. I'm absolutely loving the fluffiness of it. It's so fluffy.
Thank you.
That meme came out, the cartoon where
I
she's
re-
a unicorn and going, "He's so fluffy."
Well, I tried growing it out again because I had a big beard in my 20s, but then I would keep the mustache short. And after shaving it, and at 30 years old, and then I was like, man, I miss it. And I see all these photos of these guys with big beards and the big mustache. So right now is my test to see how big my mustache can get. That's why I'm growing it out.
He reminds me of Ragnar Lothbrok from Vikings.
Oh yeah.
Dak says that too. One of my best friends. He always calls me Ragnar.
Ragnar.
It's very becoming on you, Drew.
Thank you.
All right, well, we'll wrap it up, guys. I'm sure you all got stuff to do. Thank you for stopping by for chapter 13 of Atomic Habits. We'll catch you on the next one.
Sounds good. See you later.
Thanks, guys. See you tomorrow.